Welcome back to the Senior Support channel. Today we are talking about scam or malicious emails. Firstly, we're going to look at a legitimate email that I've received from Australia Post. We can verify that it's legitimate because it comes from ozpost.com.au, which is the domain that Australia Post own. And we can also further verify this by the blue tick mark that my email provider has said that they own ozpost.com.au. If you're still concerned about the legitimacy of these emails, contact the company that it's coming from. As you can see, when we go to Australia Post's website, this is the domain that is used in all of their internet proceedings. Now we're going to look at an example PayPal email. So as you can see, they've manipulated the email so that it shows up at service@paypal.com. But in the underlying email, it's this weird email that it's come from. We can also see the pictures look a little bit weird because it's not a legitimate PayPal email. As it says, look at the strange sender address here. This would not look like company activity from PayPal. In order to identify a scam email, there is a checklist that you can follow. 1. Examine the sender. Does the email come from a public domain, for example gmail.com or icloud.com, while claiming to be a company? Does the sender's domain contain misspellings, such as, in this case, they might misspell PayPal wrong? Does the sender's address differ from the organization's usual email format? Review content and style. Does it contain grammatical errors, unusual phrasing? Does it create urgency, act now, account suspension imminent? Does the writing style differ from the organization's normal tone? If you're also concerned, you can check links and attachment. Does the hover over URL display different from the displayed text? I can show you this later on. Does the email ask you to download files? Does the email include generic action buttons such as click here or log in now? Look for security red flags. This is an important one when looking for emails, as you don't want to give companies your personal information when not needed. Does the email request sensitive information such as passwords, account details? Does the email pressure you to bypass standard security procedures? Does it threaten negative consequences if you don't act immediately? If you answered yes to any of these questions from the checklist, don't click any links or download attachments. Contact the supposed company through a verified channel and report the suspicious email to your email sender. Now we're going to have a look at my inbox that I've set up for just for spam emails. Let's click on this first one. We can already see that they're impersonating Spotify, but you can see it's not as it would be said in its usual form. It's got spaces in between the letters. We can also see that all of them come from generic email senders, such as Outlook or iCloud, which is a big red flag for me. If you do receive these emails, always remember, if you're concerned that something negative will happen to your accounts, contact the parent company. As you can see, they try to mimic the Spotify layout of emails. If you hover over this button, as you can see in the bottom left-hand corner, this does not look like a Spotify.com link. If you can read the little writing in the left, it says it's a Shopify site, which would mean that this is probably a malicious email attempting to steal your payment information. Now, let's move on to the next one. Your account may have been blocked. Your photos and videos will be deleted at that date. As you can see, this email is a bit weird. We can see that it comes from a weird facebook.shop email, and the from has been redacted for privacy. As you can see, this has also come from an iCloud.com account, which would raise red flags for me. This does not look genuine at all. As you can see, the fonts differ, and there is lots of different flashy items. McAfee wouldn't send you emails like this telling you to renew your subscription. As you can see, if we hover over it, the link also does not go to a genuine McAfee.com link. Again, if you are using McAfee and want to make sure that no negative impact would be impacted on your account, just contact them. Here's another email. This one's trying to get you to buy a HD content device. As you can see, the email is all mixed up again with a generic, not matching domain. If I was expecting it to come from this place, I would expect it to say the company's name. As you can see, this is a clickable link as well, and there's usually photos included in this email. But because my email client has deemed them as spammy or malicious, it has not downloaded those images from the internet. Here's another one. See clearly again. Lots of that act fast, time is running out language used here too. It comes from a generic email domain again. As you can see, before it's gone, last opportunity, may never return. If we hover over this link, it also comes from a non-genuine business link. If I was expecting this to come from a genuine vision company, I would expect Specsavers, OPSM. But those kinds of companies wouldn't use this act fast language. Thank you for taking the time to identify your emails correctly and committing yourself to not being susceptible to scams.